If you ask me again if video game is art or not, no, I do not think it's art. It's rather an entertainment for the broad audience or the mass people, because games are need that era. The game represents somewhat that era at the same time, so it will not be art. So, to give an example about, let's say, cars, if you were to bring out a new car with a clutch, it will not be perceived very well. At that time, when automobiles was needed with a clutch, it was a time where that was the trend, or that was the way cars were. So right now, everything is automatic. And if you bring out a new car, and if you still don't have automatic in the option, you will not be recognized as very new or innovative. So 100 years from now, if we bring out the same game, it will not be perceived very well. It has to be within that time era and what that time represented. But as I said, it won't be art, because games are something that you use. There is an interactiveness belonging there. However, game should be considered as culture for the same reason. I don't think it's art involves in games. Let me give you an example. For instance, if an artist has drawn an apple, the artist has a liberty to maybe draw a pineapple or even a banana, or still say, I expressed an apple. But in games, that is not possible, because you have to draw an apple in order for the users to maybe try to eat that apple or recognize as that apple. So you said an example about Killer 7. Yes, it is different in some ways, but however, it is still playable, meaning it is quite user-friendly in terms of, and you control the game, you play the game, meaning that has artistic elements, but it's not art. It's if you create a game which no one can play, like controls are totally upside down or something, maybe that in that sense that game could leave its name as art. But if the game is a game and it controls, you could control this game, and as long as the creator of that game thinks about the users who will play that game, I think it will never be art. One of my people, my favorite artist is Taro Okamoto, a Japanese artist. He once created a chair called a chair that is not relaxing, or chair that you feel wrong. This chair had bumps or something that when you really sit down, you feel you don't want to sit down. And that's art. But to us, creating games, we're still creating a chair that allows the users to sit down, and that's not art. And that's the reason why I think games are not art. The message I wanted to give to the people who finish the Metal Gear Saga, or the message I put in as a wrap-up of the Metal Gear Saga, is that you'll see a little bit in our new trailer, the message in our new trailer. In Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 and 3, it was one of the theme was, or the message was, that what we want to pass on to our next generation, there are some important things that we want to pass on to our next generation, like ourself and generation, or the era itself. However, the thing I left out was that there are things that we should not pass on to our next generation. The things that we should not leave is definitely does exist, and in Metal Gear Solid 4, that is what I want to give as a total wrap. The piece in the trailer where Snake is holding a gun in his mouth is, of course, the symbol that this whole series will come to the end, to a finale. At the same time, he was praised as almost as a legendary hero, and he was fighting until up to his time. And of course he fought for justice, but at the same time there was a fact that he has done violence, and he has to pay of what he has done, and that's another message in that sequence.
今はですね、だから僕はその
Well, for now, what I could say is like I want to do many things. Especially, I want to do something on the Wii. But currently, the current status that I'm in is that I am responsible for MGS4, and I'm really tied up doing works for MGS4, and I have a responsibility to make MGS4 a big success. And until that is accomplished, I cannot really think on to the next one. So right now, I'm kind of stuck.